This Ag Business Update brought to you by American Implement, indebted to the past, committed to the future. In a moment, we talk late model farm equipment with Sam O'Toole, New Frontier Ag.
When you've had a best friend for over 50 years, you develop a trust. And the Scott Co-op has been a trusted rural friend since 1957. A co-op keeps money in the area, doing business for and with their members. And that helps keep their hometown thriving with keeping money in the community. Scott Co-op is not just an elevator. It's the rural way of doing business. So, when you see an elevator, remember your friends at Scott Co-op. Wolfter Construction and Irrigation has been around a long time, and a lot of folks have trusted them to design, build, and service all sizes of commercial and on-farm storage for grain and equipment. Wolfter is also known for their outstanding irrigation division, where they stock a complete selection of nozzles, regulators, drops, gear drives, electrical, and structure components. Looking for an electric motor? Wolfter has a large selection in single and three-phase. Next time, reach out to the pros who have decades of experience at taking care of business the right way. Wolfter Construction and Irrigation.
And welcome back. Sam O'Toole, New Frontier Ag in McCook, Nebraska joins us. Sam's our go-to guy when it comes to what's going on in machinery and just kind of a general overall tractor sales, so on. Sam, been a while. Glad that we're finally able to see you face to face.
It's kind of nice.
All right, let's get to it. We talked about the land market being so hot. Boy, farm machinery is just, if you got some and it's for sale, it's gone seemingly like that.
Yeah, we haven't seen things like this for a long, long time, and it seems like it's across the board. Everything's kind of hot. I mean, just can't keep enough of it.
I know it wasn't that long ago we saw a resurgence in four-wheel drive tractors and some other things, and then it was tillage equipment, and you're exactly right. Now it seems like if you've got something that's in good shape, even if, say, it's a few years old, but if it's not, I mean, if it's just barely being used, you can almost get more than what maybe paid for originally.
Right. We, and we specialize here at New Frontier in, couple-year-old tractors, John Deere tractors for sale, and we're having trouble, getting enough of them to sell. They're just the new market is so tight right now that everybody's buying couple-year-old used equipment because they can't buy the new.
What we're hearing, are you seeing the same thing where farmers that are used to kind of always keeping that top and maybe would trade every couple of years, they just can't, but they may switch around and maybe still in line for maybe that 1 or 2 year old tractor with lower hours just to kind of keep things moving. So that market is still extremely strong.
Very strong, and on top of those customers, you have customers that haven't bought for many years and have made really good money the last few years, especially last year with all the subsidies and everything. They're in the market to buy that same equipment, so everybody's competing for that same equipment. As
we look to fall, what you think for the short term? Almost any piece of equipment, if it's in good shape, is going to be very hot.
Yes. Combines. We had last few years of combines. We've had just a huge surplus of them. That surplus is mostly gone on combines. 8R series John Deere tractors are basically non-existent. Even the hay equipment, people are having trouble getting some of that. It just kind of across the board.
Mm-hmm. We're talking with Sam O'Toole, New Frontier Ag, and we're going to take a break, and we'll also talk about financing opportunities and how all that is moving forward as the economy starts opening back up. We'll be back in just a moment.
Would you like to see something done about high gas prices and low unemployment? Western Plains Energy in Campus, Kansas is doing something about it. They're a proud part of Growth Energy, America's ethanol supporters, and they employ 38 people and will be adding more following the expansion. Ethanol fuel not only reduces the cost of regular gasoline, it's good for the environment and keeps money right here in the United States while supporting local rural jobs. Western Plains Energy, doing something for the future.
cost of everything has gone up dramatically over the last 75 years. With one exception: keeping electricity affordable.
Wheatland Electric, delivering energy for life, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And Sam O'Toole from New Frontier Ag is joining us. We're getting an update on what's going on in the machinery business. It seems like really right now you have good late model equipment, whether it be implements or tractors, combines, still a very hot market. The other thing, Sam, we'd like to talk with you about is you also work on a lot of different financing plans. Where are we at with that? I know, as you talked about, with all the subsidies and other things that came from the government, it really helped farmers kind of take care of some things. What has, if anything, has that done to, say, the financing of this equipment, if you can find it and if you can make it part of your operation?
Well, talking with local bankers, they have a lot of money to loan because a lot of these guys have paid off a lot of debt, and they're willing to get really competitive on equipment loans. Your big players like Diversified, Ag Direct, their low rate financing is some of the lowest we've seen in the last 7 years probably. Leasing a year ago kind of took a switch and started getting higher and harder to do, and we're seeing that coming back a little too. So all good in the financing side. Very competitive rates and great time to buy.
Well, it seems like maybe now is the time to buy rather than to lease. Do you have some concerns? We keep hearing the Fed may do some changing now to interest rates because it's been so long, and really we're so used to almost dealing with no or very little interest. What might that do to this red hot market?
Well, that could slow it down definitely. It would just depend on how high that rate would actually go. We've always fluctuated, 3 points here and there, kind of from where we're at, and it doesn't seem to really matter as long as the commodities are good and they have good money.
Okay. Now, folks want to talk with you. You go all over the country and you have a lot of connections lining either buyers or sellers up. So how can they get a hold of you?
They can reach us at calling 308-340-8989 or jumping on our website at newfrontierag.com.
All right. Lots of things that you can help them out or answer their questions. So good to see you again. Thanks. We'll do this again.
Nice seeing you.
Sam O'Toole, New Frontier Ag, has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a moment.
S&S Trailer Sales, with 2 locations in Ness City, Kansas, is where everybody goes to buy or rent trailers. They feature the all-new, all-aluminum Mauer grain trailer with all of the electric options, the easy-to-load detached trailers, and a huge stock of header trailers. At the west location, you'll find bumper poles, goosenecks, and oilfield specialty trailers, along with flat and utility beds for pickups. S&S Trailer Sales in Ness City and on the web, but remember, you do have to spell out the and.
1030 KBUF has ag information every day, beginning a little bit after 6 a.m. We check the markets, ag news, weather, and a whole lot more. You can also follow along on our social media pages on Facebook as well as Twitter. You can also listen to those Southwind broadcast stations at westernkansasnews.com. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching.